All right, it's one thing for free speech and pro-privacy advocates to be saying not one more step on Apple, United States government. It is quite another when it's General Michael Hayden, of course, who headed the NSA, headed the CIA. He's out with a book, Playing on the Edge, American Intelligence in the Age of Terror. I urge you to look at the cover of the book and the way it is. I had an electronic version downloaded, so I wasn't aware that the good general was going to be joining me in the flesh, because you really can't sign an electronic downloaded version. But again, he's coming under a lot of heat and raised eyebrows for his positions on this. It's very good to have you, General.
Thanks, Neil. Happy to be here.
First off, on Apple, you didn't take what would be the automatic assumed government position. Explain.
Sure. Now, you've got to parse this carefully, all right?
Understood.
Where I took the atypical position and had some members of my tribe tweeting and emailing me asking me about my views is on the macro question, the thing that Director Comey appears to have been asking about over the last several months, which is I need to be able to get into any phone. In other words, a universal backdoor into American-produced products, all right? And my position on that is, no, I don't think so, all right? I think American security, and you made an excellent point earlier, you can argue this on privacy grounds, but I'm arguing on security grounds. I actually think America is more secure with end-to-end unbreakable encryption available to all Americans, even admitting that that's going to make the FBI's job and from time to time the NSA's job harder to do in specific circumstances.
But here we have a phone with information
okay.
we know.
Okay.
All
right.
Right?
But now the question becomes, Neil, is what we're talking about here really that over here, which I just described, which was universal access via backdoors? Because, frankly, as a former director of NSA, you got a back door? I'm coming through the back door. It's not a guarantee, but you have increased my odds. No matter how carefully you construct your back door, you've increased my odds of getting in on a lot of other services.
But isn't this a one-and-done thing?
That's my point. This one over here doesn't have the universality of this over here. So on this particular question, Neil, I'm actually shading towards the Bureau, that this is a localized, specific, warranted, non-repeatable event. And if it's not, all right, if it's some sort of slippery slope that inevitably leads from here to there.
Well, Comey says it's not a slippery slope.
Well, I agree. Then it's up to Tim Cook at Apple to actually demonstrate why, if I did this, I end up here.
But isn't Tim Cook playing to his rabid base? And here I am.
Well,
Apple,
yeah.
My point is that base doesn't like this, hence the protest at Apple stores around the country.
So you've actually come to the underlying theme of my book, which doesn't talk about Apple, but talks about this being a field of infinite grays, that all of these choices are tough. And that, Neil, this is never the forces of light and the forces of darkness. It is always good people trying to look for two things, both of which are virtues. Their security and their liberty, their safety and their privacy. We're just playing it out now like a morality play over this one particular iPhone.
All right. But it's a morality play that has, when I talked to Marco Rubio about this, sir, has life and death consequences. This was just from a couple of days ago, Marco Rubio on this subject with me. Take a look.
We're going to have to confront this issue because encryption has become a real problem in terms of terrorists using it to deny us information. But at the same time, it's important to note that irrespective of how someone may feel about encryption, if Apple is under court order, they will have to follow that court order. They are not above the law.
All right, now you had said that the FBI is not asking Apple to decrypt it, right?
That's correct.
They're asking them to suppress the iOS, the operating standard. What's the difference?
The difference is they've not created a key that allows them to get through it. What's going to happen is...
But what if I don't even know how the hell they did it? I just know that I have the information I wanted, and I don't care how they did it.
That's the point. And that's actually the power of the FBI's argument on this specific case. That's correct.
Let me switch.